several announcements made in the Union Budget 2025. We are joined by Union Minister, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri. Sir, thanks for speaking with CNBC TV 18. How do you look at the key highlights from the budget and its impact on the common person?
No, I would say in overall terms, it's an excellent budget. It's a budget whose impact in the short, medium and long term will be to spur and boost our journey to becoming a Viksit Bharat, which is the Prime Minister's Sankalp. But more than that, you see, if you look at this budget, one immediate temptation is to look at it in terms of the relief provided to the salaried middle class. The fact that you've raised the exemption limit from 7 lakhs to 12 lakhs is a talking point. But I think there's something deeper in this. You've also adjusted the slabs. You've also made major announcement for centers of excellence in artificial intelligence, for the steel, for the shipbuilding sector, for agriculture, for manufacturing. So you look at all those announcements for startups. You know, if you add another 10, 20,000 crores for something like that, that's a lot of money. The PLI scheme which was started, we never had any electrolyzer production here. When you provided 19,700 crores sometime back at the PLI scheme, it's taken off. Today, this budget also seeks to boost the public-private partnership. It also seeks to provide overall momentum. But the one talking point which is gaining more attention is because people generally thought, you know, the corporate sector is doing well. The, people who are at the economically weaker section, they are being provided 3 meals of dry ration in a day, and the middle class is being shortchanged. Not correct. We've just appointed a pay commission. That pay commission will result in major boost, relief, even for pensioners like me. There'll be pension enhancements, hopefully with retrospective effect. But today, the limit, exemption limit going to 12 lakhs is particularly welcome. And I want to remind those who are continuing with their carping criticism that when Indira Ji was Prime Minister, sometime in 1972 or 73, she raised the taxation limit. So if you earned 12 lakhs of rupees at that point of time, you ended up paying 11 lakhs 29,000 by way of tax. That was the highest rate. Now, कहाँ वहाँ कहाँ अभी की सिचुएशन है और इस पर क्रिटिसाइज करना और केजरीवाल जी लगे हुए हैं अरे भाई केजरीवाल जी आपने तो मिडिल क्लास का सोचा ही नहीं आपने अगर मिडिल अब कह रहे नहीं मैंने तो 10 मांगी थी 12 मिल गई which means we've got a deeper and understanding of what needs to be done and there's a timing for everything. Earlier budgets had a tremendous focus on Capex. Capex से ये फायदा होता Capex budget 30% बढ़ता गया. As a result of which, infrastructure received a boost, employment received a boost. If you're constructing by way of an example, a refinery, not only will cement and steel receive a boost, employment will receive a boost, all population within 100 kilometers of that will receive a boost. So you look at what all we've done as a country, our overall capacity has risen. Now this, using nuclear energy, for energy transition, again, a phenomenal development. The previous government made an attempt, but not a single dollar of commercial contracting took place because they lost the narrative after that. Manmohan Singh ji was willing to stake the future of his government, and yet kuch nahi hua. And with Modi ji, whatever he guarantees, whatever he promises, 500 guarantee diya, 499, we met. So it's not Delhi specific, it's not related to what the Congress party is saying. This is a new vision. Did any Congress leader or any other political leader in the country ever talked about India as a developed nation? Inka the contribution was always in the other side. They always doubted that we could do. When we talked about becoming a $5 trillion economy, they say, kaise hoga? Now that you're a $4 trillion economy, they are not even talking. We talked about $5 trillion and $10 trillion and Viksit Bharat. But these guys have been on the wrong side of the argument.
Speaking of the petroleum sector, there is an allocation of rupees 5,600 crores for strategic petroleum reserves. On the other hand, there hasn't been any compensation for OMCs for their losses.
Let me tell you very clearly, we are committed to that. Even when we got it from 28,000 crores, there was an under-recovery on LPG. We gave them 22,000 crores. You don't need to make a budgetary provision. We can go to the finance ministry. Otherwise, if somebody behaves like a good corporate citizen, the OMCs, and they've had under-recovery, we will compensate them. We are committed to that.
Also, the subsidy for PM Ujjwala has trended down, what we have witnessed so far, despite an increase in the number of beneficiaries. Also, do you feel there is going to be an increase in discretionary spend post the budget?
No, there is going to be enough provision for both LPG and that. Don't worry about it at all. You see, two things are happening. Insofar as natural gas is concerned, prices are coming down. Insofar as LPG, which is a product of a refinery, etc., we will look at that. There's no issue of no anxiety on that score.
My final question to you, speaking of discretionary spend, speaking of future growth prospects, how do you look at the current proposition with respect to India's import basket, particularly with respect to petroleum and also with respect to the focus on exports, which is quite much visible in the budget?
See, India is a happening place for energy. Whether it's ENP, it will go up. Whether our gas production goes up by 18% every year. There was a dull decade between 2006 and 16. We are now getting more and more fine. I keep saying there's a Guyana to be found in the Andaman Sea or several Guyanas to be found. As we go forward, we will continue because the economic activity is growing at such a pace. Even as our ENP goes up, our consumption is going up, therefore imports will go up. But we are also exporting. Some of our companies are major exporters. As we proceed forward, we are very confident. We think more and more crude oil is going to be available in the global market. Prices will come down. And I'm pretty confident that energy will continue to be a big success story.